Most people never notice the hidden levers of psychology that shape respect, influence, and control. In this video, I'll reveal 20 rare psychological tricks you can actually use in real life. Subtle moves that most will never see coming, but everyone will feel. Number 1. The power of silence. Most people rush to fill silence, but silence itself is a weapon. Imagine your boss asks you why a project failed. Instead of instantly defending yourself, you pause. The silence makes them lean in and reveal more than they intended. This trick works in arguments too. The person who speaks less usually controls the frame. So learn to embrace the quiet, because silence is never empty. It's full of pressure and influence. Number 2, the mirror delay. Everyone knows about mirroring, but most do it instantly and look obvious. The rare move is to delay your mirroring by 10 to 15 seconds. For example, if someone crosses their arms, you wait then cross yours later. The subconscious mind notices similarity without catching mimicry. It builds rapport without suspicion. Salespeople who do this sell more. Leaders who do this gain faster trust. And in relationships, it makes people feel you are on their wavelength without even trying. Number 3, the spotlight slip. In any group conversation, the person who redirects attention away from themselves actually gains more status. Imagine being praised in a meeting, and instead of soaking it all in, you highlight a teammate's contribution. This reverse move shows you're secure and above chasing validation. People remember you as confident and generous. It's the opposite of attention-seeking, yet it magnetizes respect. The spotlight you give away actually circles back stronger. Number 4. Reverse vulnerability pull. Most people share weakness to get sympathy, but the rare psychology move is to share it with strength. For example, instead of saying, "I'm nervous about public speaking," you say, "I get a rush of nerves before big talks, because it reminds me the moment matters." The framing shifts weakness into power. People connect with you on a human level, but also respect your resilience. This lever works in dating, negotiations, and leadership, because controlled vulnerability feels authentic and strong at the same time. Number 5. The anchored stance. When you enter a room, most people shift their weight nervously or pace. Instead, anchor your feet shoulder width apart, plant firmly, and keep your shoulders relaxed back. This grounded stance subconsciously signals authority. Think of how military officers or athletes stand. When you combine stillness with calm eye contact, people perceive you as confident before you even speak. The anchored stance says, "I belong here, and you should listen." Number 6, the expectation gap. Humans always notice the difference between what they expected and what actually happened. The trick is to underpromise and overdeliver. For example, when you tell your team you'll finish a task in 5 days but you deliver in 3, the gap creates admiration and surprise. In social settings, this works too. If you walk into a room looking ordinary, but later reveal a skill like playing piano or speaking another language, people feel blown away. The key is to control the reveal. Lower their guard with small expectations, then exceed them to create lasting impact. Number 7. The pattern interrupt. The brain loves predictability, but pays full attention when something unexpected breaks the flow. If someone always expects you to answer formally, you suddenly use humor. If a negotiation gets tense, you suddenly pause and smile. These tiny interrupts break their autopilot and force them to refocus on you. Comedians use it in timing, leaders use it in speeches, and everyday people can use it to shift power in conversations. It's a psychological lever that snaps the mind awake without saying a word. Number 8. The scarcity silence. Scarcity isn't just about products, it's about presence. Imagine you're in a group chat, but you don't reply instantly like everyone else. Your silence creates tension and value. People lean in to wonder what you think. In meetings, the one who speaks less is often seen as more important. In dating, the person who doesn't rush to text back gains more pull. Scarcity makes the brain value what is rare. So when you use intentional absence or delayed responses, you create silent power. Number 9. The authority borrow. Sometimes you don't need to have power yourself. You just need to link to someone or something that already carries weight. Imagine quoting a respected expert in a discussion, or casually mentioning you learned something from a top mentor. people subconsciously transfer authority to you. Brands do this when they put celebrity endorsements. Students do it when they name drop professors. The trick is subtle. You don't brag, but you align yourself with authority figures so their credibility rubs off on you. Number 10. The selective nod. Body language is often underestimated. Nodding too much makes you look like a follower. But the rare move is selective nodding. For example, in conversation, you hold a still face and then slowly nod once when something truly matters. This signals deep listening and makes the other person feel validated. Politicians use it in debates. Therapists use it in sessions. Leaders use it in negotiations. The selective nod turns agreement into a powerful tool of influence because it makes your approval feel scarce and valuable. Number 11. The delayed answer. Quick responses often feel reactive, but when you pause before replying even for a few seconds, it creates the illusion of weight behind your words. In a meeting, if someone asks you a tough question and you take a thoughtful pause before speaking, your answer suddenly feels more intelligent and considered. In conversations, if you don't rush to fill silence, the other person often reveals more than they planned. Negotiators use this all the time. They let silence hang, so the other side feels pressured to speak first. The delayed answer is not about being slow. It's about creating gravity, so people feel your words matter more. Number 12. The mirror mismatch. People know about mirroring, but what they don't realize is that perfect mirroring feels fake. The rare lever is partial mismatch, where you mirror their energy but not their exact moves. For example, if someone crosses their arms, you don't cross yours, but you lean back casually, creating rhythm without mimicry. This feels authentic and still builds subconscious rapport. In dating, it shows confidence. In leadership, it shows independence while still connecting. The key is balance. Too much mirroring looks needy. Too little feels distant. The mirror mismatch creates a dance where you lead without them noticing. Number 13. The invisible credit. When you give someone credit without making it obvious, you win deep loyalty. Imagine in a group you casually highlight someone's contribution, but not in a flashy way. They feel seen and respected. Later, they often go out of their way to support you. Bosses who credit their team in public, but correct in private, build unshakable trust, even in friendships. If you compliment someone behind their back, word gets to them and your reputation grows stronger. The invisible credit trick works because humans crave recognition, but value it more when it's not forced or staged. Number 14. The controlled vulnerability. Showing weakness can backfire if it looks like you're fishing for sympathy. But when used at the right time, it builds immense connection. Leaders who admit a past mistake before sharing a lesson make their advice stick. Friends who open up about a struggle after showing strength invite deeper trust. In relationships, controlled vulnerability is revealing a small imperfection, not your entire life story. It shows you're human but still in control. This lever works because perfection is intimidating, but small flaws are relatable. The art is to share just enough to build trust without losing authority. Number 15. The curiosity gap. The brain hates unfinished stories, so leaving small gaps in what you say makes people lean in. For example, instead of saying, "I know a trick to influence people," you say, "There's one strange habit top negotiators use. I'll show you in a second." And suddenly they're hooked. Writers use cliffhangers. Marketers use teaser trailers. Great speakers drop breadcrumbs before the reveal. In daily life, you can mention something unusual happened today and pause. The other person can't resist asking what. Curiosity is a lever that pulls attention without force because humans crave closure for unanswered questions. Number 19. The strategic forget. Sometimes pretending not to know something gives you leverage. If you forget a small detail and let the other person correct you, they feel smarter and more in control while you gather information. In negotiations, acting like you don't recall a minor figure makes the other side reveal more. In social life, pretending not to remember someone's hobby gives them a chance to re-explain with excitement. The trick is never to overdo it, or it looks manipulative, but used subtly. The strategic forget creates openings while keeping you underestimated until it matters. Number 20. The silent entry. Most people announce themselves with noise, but entering a room quietly often draws more eyes. Imagine walking into a meeting without rushing, sitting calmly, and saying nothing for a moment. People start paying attention before you even speak. In social gatherings, the quiet arrival creates mystery. In leadership, it shows composure. Celebrities often use this by letting others notice them rather than forcing it. Silence at entry makes people adjust to you instead of you adjusting to them. It's a lever of presence built not on volume, but restraint. If you want more rare psychology levers that give you quiet power in work, relationships, and life, hit subscribe here on YouTube and don't miss the next one. Stay sharp, stay rare.